Just wanna say God bless. All praise to the Most High. Our shapes and ancestors.
We giving praise in the morning. Dear Lord, when we wake up in the morning, we feeling good and our life is moving forward.
Hey, room is in, I'm ascended to a place where I'm grateful for every morning, see the sun up on my face. Sometimes I feel I'm ignoring my life. God told me it's the hermit restoring my sight. 8 of cups with it, moving on up with it. Life gritty, but you gotta get tough with it. God's critic, hush critics, I'm in touch with it. Childhood, double dodge, G.I. Joe rhythm.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Good
I used to
morning.
be mad at the world cause I couldn't see myself. Mad at the world cause I couldn't find help.
Hey,
Hey, I did my shadow work. Now my past be like looking in the rearview mirror at the traffic light. Put on blue one night. Ancestors straight sent the intuition straight through my sight. They said you resonate with the light and the darkness. So you gotta figure out how you gon' walk this. Path is given, they give me the rhythm. They say I gotta do it now. It's the real I'm living. So I obey the rules. No baneful spell work. Stick to the script. Heaven over hell first. Faith in God, intuit from my ancestors. Heavenly symphonies, but they all big steppers. The weapons of warfare are spiritual. Spirit says, say it even if they not hearing you. So, King of Swords to the Ace of Swords. I roll with Archmichael, I could never be ignored. For ascension, I was never a sucker. In the spirit after ascension, I'm never a sucker. Oh.
we giving praise in the morning. Dear Lord, when we wake up in the morning, we feeling good and our life is moving forward.
Hey.
Hey, dear Lord, when we wake up in the morning, we feeling good and our life is moving forward. Hey,
Hey, I be in the wind with the beats in my feet. Man, your boy rocking with the high fun energy. I got enemies cooking up the spell work. They be sending elder, befriend us on the network. We do live reads, video chat. You ain't book a live session, ain't really no rap. It's like the downloads coming from source. If you don't like it, bro, it's really no force. It costs you nothing to pay us no mind, but we gon' tell you about it all if you give us some time. It's like me and High Priestess. We gon' tap in. When we tap in, we telling you what's happening. There's Ace of Swords, there's words of truth. There's a beautiful ancestor speaking to you. The events in your life, all in the proof. Ain't no voodoo scandal, don't mishandle voodoo. Show Orishas love and break bread with Vishnu in the spirit. Cool and ranked up, elemental beings, and we doing our thing, cuz doing God work, so divinity thanks us. A lot of y'all suffering from baneful magic tricks, a lot of painful tragic shit. I'ma show you how to get that up off yourself. Lemon cleanse, reinforce your health. Whoa, hey, I'm a soul being, ain't no transgression. Burn a candle, run a dummy through my ancestors.
we manifested you, less stressing. We pray to God, we get his blessings.
Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. Blessings flow in so abundantly. Hey,
We giving praise in the morning.
we read the tarot, see the spirits in the sparrow. See through the voodoo and we rock our own apparel. I hate that matter about to come up. They won't do shit, they ain't gonna run up.
Perfect.
My ancestors, big steppers,
Hey.
control the elemental weapons.
We helping people reach their North Node.
See Leggy Lightman down the crossroad.
Nana Baluku and the Babalawo.
The Marisha give us power at the final hour. It's like I told my sister she a witch. She said, what is this? I said, a healer, man, that term, see, it really fits. Things been really mixed up from the jump. They've been feeding us poison and giving us stuff. But now we ascending and airbending and water walking and fire sending.
We manifest and do less stressing. We pray to God we get his blessings. Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. Blessings flow in so abundantly.
Hey.
Our chakras look down actually popping.
Popping.
We keep on going, we can't be stopping.
No, ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. Blessings flow in so abundantly.
Our chakras look down actually popping.
Hey.
We keep on going, we can't be stopping. Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. Blessings flow in so abundantly.
Hey. You
Joy
gotta
comes
heal
in
to
the
release
morning.
The pain. Death called me to reap the
Hey.
pain. It's like the end of an old start, the start of a new beginning. We good at losing, but we knew it winning.
You
could
could
be
be
feeling a little different, feeling you're more gifted, using your intuition to cut through the bullshitting. It's like, shorty, I'm so hip to what they saying in the background. Don't ain't trip and
Sis,
sis.
keep your feet in the water.
Affairs coming together, mama guy, you supporting, bro. Keep your thing moving in strength. Take that rum down the leggy, giving God his whole 10th.
And me.
I'm just here bringing a message, and I hope it uplift you, put some pep in your step. I'm not here to gain a reputation. I'm just here to use my voice to raise the whole nation. So, whoa, take control of the demons, guard all angles, learn to co-create with the stars and the angels. I wave a banner, but it's not star-spangled. These dark witches got the whole world tangled. We gon' heal to release the pain. We gon' heal to release the pain. Yeah, we gon' heal to release the pain. We gon' heal to release the pain. You from a life of what you do, people see it strange.
Hey.
But see, the aim ain't the shame about it. It's the understanding testimony came about it. Amen. They say I'm talking to a water walker. Let your faith come alive, push the demon off you. Life hard when you view it wrong, but switch your vibe and the birds gonna sing along. True. Amen. I'm speaking with the preacher's message. Call it Sunday service, reaching a deeper section. Man, that's hallelujah. Walk with your limp and let your spirit talk to you. It's gonna leave you exempt from what the devil trying to do you as we reach for ascension and we creep through dimensions, redefine the slave with the spirit of the lynchings.
Hey. They call me high priestess and I be tapped in. Let's put some cards in, see what's really happening. Check my energy. I'm not your enemy. She probably lying and ain't never been no friend of me. I've been working very hard for divinity, but to prove a point ain't never made no sense to me. I do no chemistry. You might blend with me. Let's pull these cards in. Tap into your energy.
Hey, they call me Hierophant, and I be tapping in, and I don't need the cards to tell you about what's happening. I'm good with spirit. I'm connected to the action. My earth spin up on the axis, looking at the world through my magic glasses. Ain't much that you could do that could get past me.
No. So, rap he been bars.
What? Hey, rap my bend bars. God say the strength card. Spiritual warfare, rummies know I went hard. In my method, you gotta respect it. Building up my collective with the truth that's butt naked. My great Grammy named Alice, boy. She was a shaman. Ancestor challenge, boy.
Hey, you better tap into this energy. Yeah, you better tap into this energy.
Hey.
Yeah, you better tap into this energy. Good morning. You better tap into this energy. Good morning.
Again, the room is in, but I'ma send it to a place where I'm grateful for every morning. See the sun up on my face. Sometimes I feel I'm ignoring my light, but it's the hermit God said I'm restoring your sight. 8 of cups with it, moving on up with it. Life gritty, but you gotta get rough with it. God's critics, hush critics, I'm in touch with it. Childhood, G.I. Joe, double Dutch rhythm. God intuition is God given. Some of us was meant to lead, strength to lead. Yeah, God giving me the strength indeed. Trying to tell my haters it was just meant to be. Go.
Hey, yeah, we call it abracadabra. Yeah, we call it abracadabra. It's magic. Yeah, we call it abracadabra.
All right, let's go live on it.
It's magic. It's magic. We call it abracadabra.
Let's go live on them.
Yeah, it's magic. We call it abracadabra. It's magic. We call it abracadabra. It's magic. We call it abracadabra. You really gotta get your life back together. And no matter the storm that you go through, you gotta hold on because God really chose you. Now I'm just trying to give you some advice. I pull tarot, but I've been a hard head in life. But if you pray, God will show you. Grab your hand, take a chance, he will mold you. Gabriel to the rescue. He blew his trumpet, he's on earth to protect you. Stand up and take flight. Stand for something, fall for nothing. We gonna be alright. We gonna be alright. We gonna be alright. Stand for something, fall for nothing. We gonna be alright. Yeah. We giving praise in the morning. Yeah. We giving praise in the morning. One more time. Yeah. We giving praise in the morning. Hey, I like this one. I like this one, y'all. I like to do this one. It says, dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good because my life is moving forward. We ain't going backwards. I feel good over here. Dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good because my life is moving forward. Hey, yeah, I said I thank you. I love you. Yeah, I show you gratitude. Yeah, no one above you. I love you and all the things you do. Yeah, because I trust you and I know you. Yeah, I show you gratitude. Hey, and dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good and my life is moving forward. You ever felt like that? You ever wake up in the morning, you be like, dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good because my life is moving forward. You remember those times you just couldn't make it forward? You know, you just kept backsliding. And now it's like, yeah, dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good because my life is moving forward. That's like somebody's testimony. Hey, dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good because my life is moving forward. Yeah, and I trust you. I love you. Yeah, I'm showing gratitude. Yeah, so many people didn't wake up this morning, but you did, right? Sometimes you gotta be like, dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good and my life is moving forward. Remember they said joy comes in the morning. Well, it's here. Dear Lord, when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good and my life is moving forward. Yeah. Yeah. I said I love you. I trust you. Yeah, I show you gratitude. Yeah, Yahweh. I said I love you. No one above you. Yeah, and the things you do. Yahweh. Yahweh. Yahshua Yahweh. Hey. Yeah, we show you gratitude.
Yahshua, Yahshua.
Yahshua. Yeah.
And the Elohim.
Hey. Yeah. Don't forget the Elohim. Yeah. Don't forget
And
the
the
Elohim.
old ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Ancient energy. Yeah. Yeah. We got that ancient
Orisha.
energy. Yeah. Yeah. We got that
That's
ancient
the
energy. Yeah. We got that ancient energy. Yeah.
Anubis
Ancestors are proud of me. Yeah.
and Mayat.
I come through
And
with the
Peter.
energy. Yeah. Yeah. We got that ancient energy. Yeah. Yeah. It's in
And
your
we
blood
slide
and
through
your
the slides with
DNA.
Mokash and Param and Thor and
It's
Lekki.
in your DNA. Your makeup. Yeah. It's in your DNA. Your makeup. Yeah.
Big Shango.
You're born different. Your makeup. It's in your blood. Yeah.
Ogun.
It's in your blood. Your DNA. It's your makeup. Yeah. It's in your blood. Your DNA. It's your
Coming through with
makeup.
Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. Yahshua,
Coming through with
Yahshua.
Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. What they say? supernatural powers. Hey, yeah, Yahshua. Yeah, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
I got one.
Hey,
Papa leg ball.
hey, yeah, yumma ya, yeah. I say yeah. Guess what it said? Down by the riverside. Yeah. All respect to Oshun and the water gods.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. All respect to the water gods. Yeah. Yahweh, we praise you. Yahweh, we love you. Yahweh, we give you praise. All praise. All praise. Hey, we live in praise. Hey, every day. Yeah, this is what we do. This is the lifestyle that we live over here. Yeah, we live in praise. Hey, yeah, we say Yahweh. Hey, yeah, that's who we praise. A lot of people be like, who do they praise? We say Yahweh. Hey, who do they believe in? Yahweh. Hey, the only way. Yay. Yeah, but we always give big ashes. Hey, ashe to the ancestors. Yeah, ashe to the ancestors. Yeah. But all praise to the Most High. Yeah, but all praise to the Most High. Yahweh. Yeah, all praise to the Most High. Yeah, we give our shades to the ancestors. Yeah, ashe. Yeah, ashe. Yeah, but only praise to the Most High. Yahweh, that's who we praise. Yeah, the only way. Yeah, Yahweh, we know your name.
Odumah, the Most High.
Hey.
Over here on this channel, y'all, all of y'all gods show up in the readings.
Okay.
All of your gods show up in the readings.
Okay.
So we give honor to everyone's God over here.
Okay.
You understand me? That's what we do
Big
over
respect. Yeah. We give our shades. Yeah. We give praise. Hey. It's the only thing we know, y'all. Our shades. Hey. We live in praise every day. Yeah. We live in praise every day. Yeah. We say ashe. Yeah, to the ancestors. Yeah, we say Yahweh. Hey, the only way. Hey, Yahweh. Hey, ashe to the ancestors. Hey, one more time. We giving praise in the morning. We giving praise in the morning. Yeah. I said I love you.
Listen to this. This your ancestors talking to you right here. Let's go.
Hey. You know the way. You know the way. You know the day. Yeah. Don't play. Hey. Don't play. Yeah. Ashe. Give 'em up. Ashe. Yeah. Hey! Hey! We about to tap into this energy. Yeah. Yeah. Hope you got some synergy. Yeah. Yeah. We about to tap into your energy. Yeah. We about to tap into this energy. Hey, tribe! Hey! Hey, tribe! Welcome back to everyone that is returning. And if you're new here, you're like, what are they doing? You here for a reason. Okay? If we made it to your For You page, TikTok is doing its job. Right? You're here for a reason. Make sure you share this video out. There's so many people that need to hear this message. Okay? Show your girl and your boy some love if you love the video. Make sure you run us up with some hearts, okay? We're trying to spread this throughout the algorithm. You know TikTok is censoring things. They only want you to see things that are toxic, things that cause division, things that cause anxiety and depression. But we here to lift your spirit. It's like, your spirit's lifted. Hey, your spirit's lifted. You are gifted.
A higher calling.
Hey, a greater purpose. You know you're worth it. So let's get to it. Y'all ain't got my voice. Your girl been sick for like a week. I told y'all I got this 2025 flu or whatever it is. So I just ain't got it. But we're gonna try it anyway. A higher calling. A greater purpose. Hey, you know you've been chosen. Your girl can't do it today, but you catch the rhythm. Hey. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. What they say? Let me try. A higher calling. A greater purpose. You know you're worth it. So let's get to it. Hey, you know you got stuff to do. Right? Even once you laying in the bed when there's so many things to do, get your ass up. Hey, a higher calling. Yeah, your spirit is lifting. You ain't the same person you used to be. Your calling is greater. Hey, you're on a mission. I can't project my voice, y'all. Hey, but you get it. You know what you up to. You know what you up against. It's spiritual. See, we fight against principalities and wickedness in high places, right? That's why the media is controlled by the evil, the wicked. They only want you to see things that bring your spirit down. So when you find something high vibrational, you better tap in. Yeah. You better tap into the energy. Yeah. You better tap into the energy. Okay?
Hey.
Hey!
Tribe.
All right, y'all. Good energy. Hope you guys are doing well in positive energy and attracting everything you desire like a magnet. Because who could do it better than you? Nobody, right? So we're coming through with another live reading for you guys. Take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, run us up with some hearts, okay? Right? We're trying to get to 10K subscribers, followers, whatever you call it. We just want more people to get the message, right? We want to build a stronger collective. We want more people a part of the tribe. There are so many lost souls, and it takes us to help them, you know? Even the ones that hurt us, like, they need our help. We're gifted. We were sent here for a different reason. We came here to be, you know, cushions for people that couldn't take pain. We came here to be, you know, the overcomer in the situation. You know, we came to, you know, jump through all of the hurdles. That's the people that we are, right? So it's like, you know, just get ready. You're on a mission. You have a job to do, and I know it's hard. I know you have to help people that have hurt you. I know you have to teach people that don't want to be taught, but guess what? It's your job. Keep doing it. You're doing a damn good job at it.
That's right.
Okay? You wake up every morning and you know that you have a purpose. You know that your mission is greater. And so it's your due diligence to do exactly what you're doing, waking up, showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, right? Because you're making a difference. Whether you know it or not, you're showing up, you know? It's like small adjustments, you know? It's little minor differences, but a difference is a difference. It's coming together. Everything is coming together for you. Things are in alignment. Keep working, okay? You're doing a great job.
Okay, so I woke up with a message for divine feminine energy, right? And it's on behalf of divine masculine, actually, right? God gave it to me in my spirit, and I feel this energy, right? I want to speak to a sensitive place, and it's the place where you receive hurt and pain, right? And maybe you develop the attitude like, I don't really need the masculine to complicate my life. I don't need the masculine to get in my way. I don't need the masculine to slow me down. I don't need right? A lot of different hurts that I feel. I'll say this though. When you realize that the keys to attract what you want are inside of you, then what you'll do is you'll begin to see where potential can rise and you won't take unnecessary chances, right? Because what spirit is leading you is to this place right here, divine feminine. When you choose a masculine, you got to make sure that they love God, not money, not material, right? If you manifesting better you, and you got the attitude, I don't need nothing to get in my way, that's where you're going to remain at, right? God never put us here and meant for us to be alone, right? That's not to say be off whatever your preference may be, right?
Adam for Eve for Adam, right?
And that's not necessarily man or woman. Like, I mean, it's the energy. Divine feminine energy go with divine masculine energy. It don't matter the people that the soul is in. Some people walk around with masculine souls and they women, and vice versa. So we speaking to divine feminine on behalf of divine masculine, divine feminine. Maybe you got the keys, right? When you find somebody and they surrender into a higher power, that's the first sign that God could be telling you to build with that kind of energy.
You know, that's so true, because I was thinking about it, you know, I was like thinking about relationships, and I'm like, well, you know, where did they go wrong? And I thought about it, and I was like, you know, when I look at our relationship, you know, most relationships go wrong because people don't want to put the work in. Like, people are so quick to just give up on things instead of really, you know, trying to change themselves. Because you can't change your partner, but you can change those things about yourself that aren't that great, right? So if you really desire divine love, are you willing to change yourself? Because a lot of times it's not always the other people. Sometimes you have to change those things about yourself. You know, I remember a time where I thought I was so divine that I was in a victim mentality. I thought that everybody was doing everything to me, and I never looked at myself, right? And when I began to look at myself, God began to open up opportunities and doors for me. I didn't have to search for love. He sent me exactly what I needed. He knew what would match my vibration. I asked for it, and it was received. Right? So
when God sends you somebody, if this is what you're trying to manifest, right? Because a lot of people moving into your spirituality, and you embracing the newer you. So of course you want to manifest somebody on the same frequency, right? Well, you got to pay attention to what God is sending you. Because a lot of things, they show up in a 3D and
look like what you think.
They don't look like what they are. First sign, like I said, if a person doesn't have a higher governing system, a form of spirit that they adhere to, it's going to be hard for them to resonate with you. Like, if a person don't respect God, they not going to respect your sacred time. They not going to respect your sacred space. They not going to respect anything about it. Actually, they're going to look for those places to attack you. When you deal with people that don't have no belief and no governing in a higher system of morals and principles, being spiritual, they're going to do exactly what they do. They're going to deviate, right, to their default, right? Because somebody can act for a long time. Like, a person can act, right, But the default settings is what you're going to find. If a person don't have no spiritual governing, you best believe their default settings is going to be not the person that you met. It's going to be something ugly, because people who don't choose a spiritual governing, a Godhead, they become a victim to different things in this universe. One being money. Let's be real. A lot of people, they whipped in their soul by money. They haven't really learned how to understand the energy of money. And the worst way to understand it is when you got a lot of it. That's when it's most confusing, the energy of money, because money is an energy, right? But actually, it was an old proverb that they used to tell me. When you take your money and you do things, like say you take your money when you get it and you restore what you borrowed, you give back what you borrowed, you lend a few, and you tithe, of course, if you believe in that kind of thing. But when you do that, what you do with the money is you create dharma. So it leads to, but when you take the money and run reckless and do things that people do things to yourself, what you create is karma. So you don't feel it until the money gone. When the money gone, that's when you start realizing, man, a lot of people, we all probably go through that at some point. But yeah, spirit be having me way out there sometimes, so I just go with the flow, right? But when you're trying to attract, right, just understand that God gave you the keys to attract what you want. But you might get with a person and God might send them, in a sense. You might not recognize it, right? Because you might be like, well, this is not what I expected. But how does it feel to you in your spirit? Because if you meeting people and you going off of what they got, you probably already wrong.
Yeah. No, it ain't no probably.
Like if you
already wrong.
Right. Like you gotta look a little deeper nowadays.
Okay. So I got a download and it says, Spirit told me to come back to these 2 downloads. So I'm going to give them to you again. I gave them prior in the week, but there's someone that didn't hear this and you need to hear this. So you might want to grab a pen. Focus on restoration rather than shame. Okay? So focusing on restoration rather than shame. So there are some things that you've done. You can't change them. You can't fix them, right? You can restore your soul, your spirit, you can restore your attitude, right? And move forward, but there's no need to sit in shame. See, the enemy wants you to sit in shame when God already forgave you. Why sit in shame if God has already forgiven you for something? See, that's where a lot of us go wrong. We truly do have faith. We make mistakes. We're human. Find me a man or woman without sin, right? But what I'm saying is when you go to God, right, and you ask God for forgiveness, what's happening is because evil is playing with our mind. Saying is when you go to God, right, and you ask God for forgiveness, what's happening is because evil is playing with our mind. Shame or guilt, right? And Spirit is saying to let that go, right? Allow restoration to happen within you, right? Allow yourself to understand that you have been renewed and restored here. You're not the same, okay? And then I got one last download, and it says, this is from 2 Corinthians, I believe. No. I don't know where this is from. I didn't write it, but it's not from Corinthians. I'm sorry. But it says, living by faith. For we fix our attention on things that are seen, but on things that are unseen. Excuse me. Let me get this right, y'all. Living by faith. We fix our attention not on things that are seen, but on things that are unseen. What can be seen only lasts for a time, but what cannot be seen lasts forever. Our life is a matter of faith and not sight. So you could be in the energy of looking to see things. You could be looking to see people pay for the things they did to you. You could be looking to see money for the work you've been putting in. You could be looking to see some kind of results, and God says that, the things that we can't see are the things that last forever. So stop being so caught up in whatever you can see. These eyes right here really don't matter. When you become spiritually awake, you know, spiritually mature, you understand that it's the I right here, right? It's your consciousness, right? What you can see beyond the surface is what is important. That's where a lot of us went wrong, by judging things with these two eyes on the surface, looking at a thing that looks nice and not really seeing what's inside of it, you know. That's how people end up with diseases. That's how people end up with broken hearts. That's how people end up unalived, you know, hurt, broken, shattered, right? Not looking at things deeper. So right now, I feel like Spirit is really wanting you to really live in your faith, right? Really believe in the things that you can't see. That's faith. Like, if you are a person that, you know, the only way you believe is by seeing something, you don't live in faith. I'm here to tell you. Right? So it's something about that. Let's see. So let's see what the situation is here. Growth.
We got the Jaguar with growth. Of course, it comes out in the reverse, but I'm going to read it upright. Maturity is the ability to embrace change. And change cannot happen without death. This death does not necessarily mean physical death, but could be the ending of a relationship, a situation, or simply your decision to not continue with the same old habits. Now, this came out in reverse. So I feel like, per usual, right? Normally when we start changing, the energy starts changing. It's a lot of immaturity, right? It's a lot of, maybe it's a lot of people that I feel are not necessarily willing to end relationships, and maybe they becoming costly now in a certain way, right? You gotta pay attention to what you connected to. Like, if I'm dealing with somebody and I'm trying my best to get ahead, but every time I deal with this person, it leads me back to the same old habits, how much am I growing? Or if I am growing, am I losing ground? Right? Because if you move forward and then you come into contact with a certain individual and they bring you back to your old habits, your old patterns, Spirit says that's not growth. Like, life is not supposed to consist of constant relapses into old things, because that doesn't amount to growth. It amounts to a reprobate mind and stagnancy, where you unwilling to grow, even in little ways, but you still want growth, or you want the things that growth would yield, right? It's really sad that people come on here and do those types of things and put themselves in type of spiritual karmic debt.
So they send the petition up on us.
You kind of gotta
Not the petition.
you have to wonder about people that do that. Like, that's witchery.
Talking about they putting a petition up.
This is witchcraft, and I will send up a petitions against you both. Witches and warlocks will see their demise. That's funny.
You the one doing witchcraft with your petitions. I pray. I don't do petitions.
It's so immature, right? That's why the Jaguar came out in reverse to the growth. Like, it's kind of time for us as humans to move away from this immature behavior. Like, what other people do spiritually, every book that you point to that's really based in God will tell you to respect people's spiritual practices, not attack them, right? Because as soon as you attack them, that's when you get crushed. Like, it was a way that you're supposed to conduct yourself as a righteous person at once. And nowadays, it seems like everybody wants to go to war.
You could just
right?
say Jesus and you're supposed to be saved.
Whatever God you use, right? Do you really think that your God is trying to, do you really think that your God wants you to be here going to war with people in the 3D about what they believe in? Or do you believe that your God wants you to get in total alignment with your spirit and understand that it's a collective frequency that God is resonating on? right? God wants humanity to wake up and become one people that operate with the same respect for the planet that we live on and the same respect for one another. This is what changes the dynamic of the world. It's spiritual. When Buddha can sit down with Jesus, or Mokash can sit down with Oshun, right? Or Anubis can sit down with men. Like when Christ can sit down with Allah. When people become fused with this understanding, it's going to create a collective dynamic and the world will become something altogether different. But it's going to become that anyway. It's just a matter if you're going to hold on to your, because the limited way of thinking going to perish. I'm feeling people's gods speaking through me saying, hear him right now. That's whatever you believe in. You believe in Allah, Al-Dumar, Buddha, the Elohim, Yahweh, right? All of them saying the same thing. Because why should religion keep resulting in the death of people mentally, the death of people physically, and the death of people spiritually, and the manipulation of people financially? Why should we continue to be a part of all of that? Spirit say that's bullshit. It's a higher elevation, right? You know how many people, thank you, Spirit. I'm going to say this, thank you, Spirit. Look, it's so many people coming in the name of causes, but when you look into the spirit that they deal with, the spirit don't even match the cause.
What are your intentions?
It's people hiding behind all white causes with baneful intentions. And by the droves, siphoning energies, stealing destinies, putting people in a literal siphon mechanism where you just siphon through, your energy is gone, and then you old and gray, and you've been sitting in the cause for years, surrendering your power and never really elevating to the understanding that God is over here and God is over there.
We live in a world where somebody will go and preach a good message on a Sunday and will call a call center on a Monday and cuss out the rep because they didn't order their product on time.
That's right.
Like, make that make sense. This is the world we live in, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they'll sit somewhere on a Sunday and tell somebody that, you know, this is the way, but then they'll call a representative that ain't got shit to do with their product. They just work there, and they'll cuss them out to the death of them, talk so disgusting to them, and then go on church on Sunday and preach the good message. This is the world we live in, though. So you can't trust these people that say these kind of things. People will say God, 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 right? Many are called, but only few are chosen, and that's real. And don't be fooled by how it looks, because a suit, a man in a suit, a woman in a suit, that don't mean shit nowadays. I'm trying to tell you some real stuff, right? Use your discernment. The devil will really try to fool you with a Bible in his hand. You know, the devil's good at mocking, right?
Extremists.
You know, what is the message? What is the intention behind the person doing what they're doing? Are they trying to spread light and love, encouragement, or are they trying to bring your spirit down? Are they trying to make you sad? Are they trying to cause you anxiety? Are they trying to get you to keep coming back and spending money with them? That's how you discern. You try the spirit by the spirit. Stop being so blind by every comment and everything that everybody says. These people will fool you.
You heard me.
Like, seriously.
Like, it should never be a time in your life where you feel like you gotta pay for a blessing.
You know, I know
right?
The world is messed up. We received a inbox, and we receive them all the time. We received an inbox from a person on TikTok that probably has 90,000 followers talking about, hey, I feel your energy. I know what's going on in your life. You need a read and things are looking bad. But these are your leaders. These are your tarot energy reasons. These are the people that's supposed to be tapped in and connected. These are the people that's telling you Jesus and Allah and Joseph Smith. You better get your mind right, falling for everything. And I can show you the screenshot. This person got 90 million followers on TikTok right now, inboxing us talking about they can feel my energy. You don't know my energy. Why? Because my energy is closed down. God keeps me preserved and reserved so you can't read my energy.
That's real.
That's how it is. That's how it goes from it been like that. Nobody could ever read my energy. I always been very mysterious.
And I ain't even gonna lie about the energy of Sap. Somebody mentioned Marvin Sapp. I'm gonna say something about it because
get your mind right.
I don't look at it like, oh, that man shouldn't have shut the doors and asked people for money. Honestly, when I saw that, I was like, that's thorough. I was like, I'm gonna tell you, in my spiritual heart, I got ghetto because I was like, oh, that's real nigga shit right there, you know? Because I felt as though like if I'm in a cause, right, I should be able to do that. But the sad thing about it is that it becomes a representation of what people literally feel like the church does across the world. Hold you hostage, shut the door, and get bread out of you, right? But it's like, you could go on with that for days. I'm going to say like this. The ancestors is knocking with the knowledge and the access to your Akashic records. It's there for you. But you got to be willing to step into the energetic flow. There's enough people, right, urging you towards your ascension. It could be your own children. You could see them tapping into things and wondering like, well, what's going on? I'm going to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to, if you don't at least educate, why would you want to sit there and be uneducated when people around you is tapping into things? I'm not saying compromise your faith, but I'm saying it's a need for you to look into it. You better begin to understand it, right? Because there's nothing like having the rabbit point the spell work at you with the gun and you don't know nothing about it, right? That's, boy, that right there amounts to a whole lot of conflict. You know, I walked through it for years. I'm praying and I know I got a connection to God, but I'm like, every time I leave away from this place where I pray at and these people that got power, my own power is failing, and I'm feeling like it's because they never told me that spell work is real. They never told me it's a way you gotta defend yourself against that. They never even told me that God leave it up to you. When somebody take their will and put a curse on you, why don't God move it? Because that is a part of that person's will.
You know, and I'm gonna say this. I have met some people, right, that truly don't agree with what we do, but they respect us.
Gotcha.
And they've never talked how some of these people get on here and talk. That's how I know who rolls with God. I know who God chose. I can tell by the actions, I can tell by the look, I can tell by how they speak. I know a person that God has favor on. And I've met people, again, that don't agree with anything that we do, but they respect the message. They understand that, you know what, I shouldn't judge this because it's a little bit deeper than me. You know, it ain't even to my comprehension level. That's a real person that's connected with God. You know, they may not understand exactly what you do, but they understand that God is in it somewhere. I don't know, that, you know, another person that has God with them, they gonna see what's on you, and that's just real. So you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You know, a person that comes and sits on a social media site and they have trigger fingers and they type and they have time, because I don't know how they find the damn time to even do. I mean, I'm so busy, I can't figure out how somebody would have time to sit here and do these kind of things. But, you know, don't allow people to sway you from whatever it is that you're doing, because that's what people want to do. The evil wants to sway you, you know, and evil will use different things to sway you. So just be mindful of that.
And see, like somebody said something about everybody is afraid because nobody is truly protected. Let me tell you something. I feel my protection. I feel my protection. I know what being protected is, right? And you'll feel yours too. It's a matter of your faith, right? You listen to this. How can you feel protected when you so busy worried about something harming your body, or you so worried about extending this life to immortality? That's why a lot of us don't feel protected. Once you lose that fear of losing this right here, then you'll understand just how protected this is. When we get caught up on that, it's like nobody wants to feel the pain, right, of life and growth. So everybody looking for a shortcut or a tarot reading that tells them to the future of every situation in detail, walk your walk. My advice is step off the tarot for a week, right? And step to your business for a week. And then as you become closer, you will feel what protection is, because you can really feel in the other realms.
You know, that's so real. And you also have to remember, like, you know, there are so many, I just got to speak on, there are so many judgmental people in the world that ain't even out here doing no work. All they do is know a couple scriptures, right?
Yeah, you don't
They
know
do
enough.
no work in the spirit.
And
They
want
do
so
no
much.
work, right? But they come and they attack people like us, right? And it's crazy because they do no work. Just because you know a scripture doesn't mean you saved. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're saved.
Just because
Yo,
you
I
make
have seen so many people be hurt by people that were supposed to protect them in places.
Just because
Okay.
you make a sacrifice,
Like,
it doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't mean
come
that
on now.
you have all power because you work. That's the thing about the spiritual walk. When you soon realize this, just because you work with a deity and you experience the power of that deity, that doesn't mean that you're going to have that power when you walk around every day. No more than the Holy Spirit or anything. It's that power, it's a knowingness. It's a like, okay, I made my bed with this energy and I follow the spiritual policies. Therefore, my power is in play. But some people, you want to feel, I need to feel. Right?
You know, I remember, who was it? Was it Moses? Who had to use the snake to show
Moses.
Okay, Moses had to use
Big witchery.
God gave Moses magic so that he could show, was it the Egyptians? So that he could show the Egyptians
The prophets about
that who God was, right? So this is how real life is, right? God gave Moses magic to show these people that God was real. God will use people in different situations to show people that God is real. It doesn't matter how much you get out here and say Jesus. It doesn't matter how much you get out here and say Allahu Akbar. Whatever you say, it doesn't matter if your intentions in your heart aren't matching up. It does not matter.
That's
if you
right.
get up there and you put on a suit,
That's
your,
right.
your first lady hat with your baddest wig. It doesn't matter. What is in your heart
Say that
is
again.
what's going to be judged. And remember, the Bible does tell us that the same way you judge, you will be judged. So make sure that you come in correct. And that's real, because you don't know who people roll with. And that's real. There are people out here that truly dedicate their lives to being better people. There are people out here that truly dedicate their lives to waking up every day and thanking God. Not just talking about, oh, you can't do this, God gonna get you for this. I'm talking about actually have a relationship. God, look, this is what I'm going through. I don't understand, and I know you want me to deliver like this, and this ain't what I'm used to, but I know you using me for some kind of way. Don't be fooled. These people will try to run you out your gift. Okay? They will try to run you out your gift. Especially a hater. They'll come on with a fake page with the little anime, right, with a fake page, and try to discourage you from whatever it is that you're doing, because they wish that they could be in your position. See, there are people that wish they could do the things that you could do, but they can't do it. They don't have your energy. They're too coward. They don't have the voice. They don't have the anointing. They don't have the blessing. So they will come in with these fake ass pages and try to discourage you from whatever it is that you're doing, when God is on you the whole time. Just because you look strange, you look different, you know, maybe you dress a little provocative, maybe you dress a little thuggish, I don't know what it is, whatever it is, people have you misconstrued. Okay, they have no idea that God is on you, and they don't look at the people in the Bible. Okay, if that's your only reference, that's mine. You know, I know a lot of holy books, but the Bible is going to always be mine. Look at the people that God used. He used a prostitute. He used a prostitute to help the people of Israel. You don't know who God is going to lose. So that's why you got to shut your mouth. Because guess what? The word, your tongue will cut you. The curses that you speak, if they can't go on the person, they will come back to you. So while you're saying that you, what did she say? What do you call it? She say, protection, or what did you say? Whatever you call that you call yourself doing to other people. When the energy can't touch that person, it has to come back to you. So watch how you're trying to curse people, okay? Watch the things you're trying to do to people, okay? Watch the spell work that you're playing with. Because when you're doing the shit to people that don't deserve it, the energy of Proverbs says a curse doesn't work unless the person deserves it. So watch what you're doing out here in these streets.
You know, somebody said the block button is a blessing. You know, I'm gonna tell you, we went to a level of spirituality where we gained an understanding. Do you know that the block button is a great defense spiritually? Let me tell you why. When people come into your energy, like on social media, and they want to do like say a person send you a friend request, right? If you accept it, they can move forward with spell work, right? It's that intricate. Now, when you block somebody, right, you effectively cutting them away from your energy. So when they come back in, it becomes a spiritual offense. Even if you block them out of your network, like say you block somebody, like you linked up, all this stuff, this aligns with spiritual activity. When you make these moves from your spirit, they're effective. You know, it's not about just blocking people because you and your emotions. No, spirit give you a rhythm and determine that this person being in my energy in any type of way is affecting my flow. Let me block them. When you make that decision, spirit back you. Boom, they block. What they feel that. They go searching, spirit gonna make them aware. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm blocked. If they proceed to come back, it's a spiritual violation. That's the kind of things that protect you for real. When you pay attention to life, it really works, it plays out like that. But we so busy looking at everything in the 3D, we don't really study that.
Because we take everything so literal. Like if you look at the biblical books, it's just the same life that we live in. It's the same energy. They was wretched, they was crazy. You know, God chose people that was broken, that was wicked, that was
Every
murderous.
time.
They was
Every
thieves.
time.
They did crazy. Like, how can you sit here and really call yourself a chosen person, or how can you really call yourself a person that's out here trying to spread righteousness if you can't even comprehend that most of the people that God used were broken people?
I'm gonna give you one deeper. Every prophet from the Old Testament that's big and major was a murderer.
Okay, very
Every last
murderous.
one of them. They all was
Murderous.
unalivers, right? This is biblical reference we speaking about, right? In a biblical context.
Crazy.
This was actually a prerequisite. See, God was a God of war at that time. When you look at the energy of Yahweh, it was about warfare, right? In the 3D. Now it's about spiritual warfare. But at one time, these things that we act out in the spirit, we did them in the 3D.
I watch God through a movie of Moses. I watch God, and through the book, I watch God protect a murderer from his entire tribe and keep him safe and put him with a whole different tribe to make sure he was all right to get the mission done. Don't tell me about what God will do. God hid people in plain sight to make sure they was okay to get the mission done. Don't tell me about who's anointed, who's gifted. The people that you look at on the corners that's drunk, pissy, you don't know who God is using. That's why you ever meet a person on a corner. I'm from Baltimore. We're from Baltimore. So you find a lot of people on different corners, right? And you know, intersections are very spiritual. That's why you have liquor stores. If you ever go to a major city, you'll notice that all of the liquor stores are on the corners. It's called beer, wine, and spirits.
Every four corner intersection in every part of the world where people go that way and people go this way, they become spiritual points.
Right? So it's spiritual, right? So you find these people, and you know, the Bible never condemned wine or drinking. It condemned overindulging.
Drunkenness.
Right?
It condemned
you know,
drunkenness.
that's kind of like when Noah was found and Ham, you know, kind of mocked his dad because he was drunk or whatever, right? But at the same time, if you'll notice that most of these people that have these really bad addictions, like to alcohol or, you know, really hard substances, and they've been on it for a while, and they're halfway in this world and they're halfway out the other world, if you ever encounter them at the right time, God gives you a message through these people that look drunk, that smell pissy, that look like they haven't been clean, right? God gives a message through these kind of people if you pay attention. They'll come through with something so powerful and you'll be like, what? What?
And it's true.
Right? Stop sleeping on where the message is coming from and get the message.
The Bible says somewhere along the line, be careful who you entertain, because you might be hosting an angel. But from our personal experiences, I've learned this throughout my spiritual journey. People who live outside, right, and we deem them homeless, they literally become susceptible to spiritual subjugation or possession, good or bad.
They live in the kingdom.
Because they're a conduit, right? They living in the kingdom, exactly. When you begin to live outside,
it's the kingdom,
right? What happens to people like that? They become conduits for spiritual energies, right? So sometimes they come and give you a word straight from heaven, right? And you might be too busy saying they smell bad. And you might be knocking your blessing at the same time, right? You see how we all trained to think? We trained to think, oh, homeless people, are they? No, these are merely people who have put themselves in a position where they are spiritually now, because of the way that they live with the elements and things like that, it makes you lose a grip on the societal norms. And when you lose those grips, you go in spiritual. It's like some of y'all that like psychedelic trips. All you doing is you disconnecting from your functionings. You suspending yourself into a spiritual environment, right? So yeah, learn to pay attention, be open-minded. Yeah, definitely. God bringing people messages, right? For anybody out here now to walk and say that they don't feel spiritual things, you really got a lot of bad programming, right? Even if you're a part of your church, you should feel an increase in spiritual power, right? Right now, for whatever you connected to, right?
You know, I feel like even if you're a spiritualist, right, and you come across, let's say you come across a short of a minister, listen to what the message is saying. You never know how God is going to resonate with you. You never know where the message is going to come from. But what I tell you is, when you need something, it will come on time. Don't be hesitant to tap into something, right, thinking that, oh, this can't be for me. I don't know. She ain't dressed how I want her to dress. He looked like a cornball, whatever it is, and then you miss the message. Now you stuck in a cycle because God sent you a message and you refuse to receive it because you ain't like the way the person looked.
And for God's sake, let's stop turning on people who give us great messages, right? Just because you have a change of perception, leave that alone. Like, in other words, if you like me personally, I'm gonna tell you about me. I was taught by some great ministers and some great people who had great revelation. Now, we may not see eye to eye, but you'll never hear me disrespect them. You know why? Because I've learned spiritually, right? The same way David wouldn't disrespect Saul. It's because, these people, they spoke the blessing on your life. It wasn't necessarily meant for them to see you all the way through. Maybe God put it for you to have a change of perception with this untoward world. Maybe God knew that your predecessors, their mind, like how Moses why couldn't Moses go into Canaan land? Know why he couldn't go? Because his mind couldn't go into the system that God was moving in with Joshua. Moses only understood, really, he was a warrior, but he was dealing with people in the art of worship, where it was turning God in your prayers. Joshua was about an activity, warfare, a lot of action, right? So God knew that Moses' mind would not be able to extend. We only got a certain amount of energy on the earth, y'all. So when you're dealing with your predecessors or the old heads, you have a difference of opinions. You left the church, you left the masjid, you left your form of spirituality, or you left spirituality and you gained. Don't compromise with your old heads game. Process it, because sometimes we do turn our blessings into curses. How? We condemn the man that gave us the blessing. It's just like Saul spoke against Samuel and God wore him out. God wore his ass out about it. You know why? Because what right did you have to speak on Samuel, Saul? You crazy. Samuel venerated in 7 religions.
Be judged the same way you
judge.
judge.
That's the same way, like, I'm one person, you might hear me speak a lot about religion and how, different. But one thing you'll never hear me do is take the ones that taught me and put them on a chopping block and have their names in my mouth and all of that. That right there, that is the quickest way to bring down destruction on your blessing.
We're not Christians. We're not. What do you see us playing in crystals?
What's your point though? I love Christ. I love Christ with all my heart.
Goofy. You don't even have a picture, Goofy.
I'm like him.
That's just a Goofy.
We love Christ.
You know, they got like 20 emails. They just stalking us. They love our energy. They all love our energy.
You know what?
Y'all hosts keep on stalking me, my energy.
I would have been like Daniel back in the day. You know what they used to say about Daniel?
I felt like responding.
All the people that play with the cards, right? You know what they used to say about Daniel back in the day? Daniel was a master diviner. All the diviners used to be like, Daniel can see. Daniel can see. Like Daniel, he could just see. He had a gift, right? This is what we do. Of course she does.
Get this clown out of here. Go make another email, dummy.
With 17 followers, though.
They stalkers. I just felt like responding, y'all. I wanted to. Sometimes I like to respond.
Hey, yo, you know what's crazy? Sometimes I sift through YouTube, right?
I like to do that sometimes.
And some of the readers, they be sending curses out when people do that and all that, right? Woo. We don't do that over here.
No, I just want to respond sometimes. Sometimes I ignore it. Then sometimes when
I try to pull her back.
Sometimes I'm with this. Okay.
I try to pull her back.
I don't lie about it. I tell y'all, I'm still growing. Sometimes I'm with it. You know.
I try to pull it back in because you know what? I know what moves with me. It's very vengeful, right? So I try not to get angry at people anymore. Right? You guys,
I don't know what they talking about.
I don't know what you mean there.
That's another Goofy with no page.
Are you blown or off throne? You know? Oh yeah, no question. Stay on your throne. You heard me.
Oh yeah, of course. I wouldn't be me if I don't say something sometimes, y'all. I got to. That's just who I am.
Check this out. Eagle vision. And this is even for people that's here to oppose. This is what Spirit says for you. It's time to look inward with an attentive eye. Allow your heart to guide you, and opportunities you never dreamed were possible will present themselves when you least expect it. Get ready for greatness.
Get ready for greatness. Get ready for greatness.
Every time I see somebody that I consider to be great, they always got, in their story, it seemed like they always got time where they spent a lot of time alone at.
Right.
Like, in order for you to be great, you can't be focused on, you can't be focused on what people do.
It's a duality, y'all. If I sit here and act like sometimes I don't like to act crazy, I'll be lying to y'all, right? And I don't want to lie to y'all.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I don't pay half the shit no mind.
I do it sometimes, honestly, to be honest with y'all. Like, if I be honest, sometimes I address things purposely because I want us to speak about it at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important, and I feel like it goes into what we're talking about, right? Sometimes addressing those things in a moment, you can really see who people are. You can see where the world is going, right? Because if people really are who they say they are, and, you know, they have a Christ-like conscience, as they say, and, you know, they really believe in the book, and, you know, they follow it, and they're on the path to righteousness, then they wouldn't do some of the things they do. So sometimes it's important to call those things out, especially when they want to bring a presence to you. You know, sometimes you have to let it be known, and then we can see, like, oh, okay, I see why I fell away from these things. I see why I believe this. I'm
going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to advise you to always be a person that don't respond to other people's negativity. Like, if I'm moving with spirit, right, there's no need for me to focus on that shit because it's a distraction. Every little thing is a spiritual distraction. Like the devil will throw rocks at you. Even if you behind a force field, he will continue to throw rocks patiently until one day he hope it get a crack. So the attack will always be consistent.
Always.
The attack
challenge
will
always
always, it's always going to be there. An attack. I mean, what's an attack? See, true warriors, we understand an attack is that's an advent for me to level up.
That's real. Keep moving.
In some type of way, I'ma level up. Why? Because I'm not done yet, right? And that's how you gotta really talk to spirits that come. When spirits come to convince you that of a pessimistic outlook, or that your time is up, or God didn't really call you, learn how to tell them I'm not done yet.
But I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. When somebody like, oh, but you used to do this. Yeah, I did do that, but that was then. And look at me now, right? And the person might say, well, how you doing that? Because the whole time I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet, right? That should be that's a good response to a person's negativity, to their scrutiny, to their accusations, to all of that, right? And I guarantee you, if you got real faith, God gonna stamp it.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet, right?
And I also think it's important, another reason I'll say is because, I never seen Jesus attack anyone in the Bible for not believing what he believed or doing what he does.
Not
right?
one
So
time.
sometimes I feel like it's very important it is to shed light on these kind of things, because there are some people that get wrapped up. There are some people that be like, okay, they're already on the fence, right? Imagine you being on the fence, not really knowing which way to go or how God is calling you, right? And so you're watching something that's high vibrational, and then you have an energy that comes in and tries to interrupt it. So sometimes you need to address it, because there are people that are on the fence and they don't know which way to go and they don't know what to believe. There
Right.
really are people that need that extra push. So sometimes you have to address things to let the person know that's unsure, because I'm sure. I know what I do. I know what I'm here for. I know what my calling is. Like we're secure in what we do, so it doesn't bother us. But it is good to address things sometimes, because there are people that are not sure like me. There are some people that look at us and they need reassurance, right? So I have to be that voice to say, okay, well, this is why I'm speaking against this, right? Yeah, I'm light and love, but sometimes I have to come through with God's justice, right? So
That's right. Light energy, dark energy. Right?
it's a balance. I got my yin and I got my yang.
Spirits say how you want to carry.
Hey,
It's up to you how you want to carry. When you know, that's why me. I became so breezy now. As I get real in my groove with my spirituality, I'm so breezy that God taught me how to approach people. You know how I approach everybody? I mind my business spiritually. Look, I'm like
we love y'all.
I ain't here for it. I ain't here to look into you. I ain't here to allow you to look into me, right? We here having a human experience.
That's real.
And I'm going to deal with you right here.
This
the balance that we should seek. Because you can't begin to keep looking at people and, you looking at everybody, and everybody don't want to be looked at that deep.
Right.
Right?
Some
You
people
gotta
don't.
learn. You gotta learn how to
Boundaries.
see things about people that God reveal you, but you gotta have a casual way about you. They shouldn't be able to know you reading them.
Spiritual boundaries.
If you really got a real gift, right, there's no need to let somebody know that you reading them.
And then you shouldn't be reading people
I mean,
without
some
their permission
some
anyway.
things come to you naturally, right? God will give you, in other words, when you meet people and you truly anointed, right, and you have your people with you, ancestors, your spirit guides, ascended masters, when you meet people, they're going to give you what you need to know about the person according to how responsible you are with the information.
Right.
If you constantly going at people about what you see, your ancestors, they're going to cut you off because you tell too much.
Talk too
Now,
much.
when God revealed things to you about people and you can hold them, right, then you can be trusted. You're a source of security with spirit. That's how spirit deal with us. God deal with us. It's like you have to be responsible, right? When you see things about people, what you think is your duty to change? All right, God showed you somebody is the devil himself. What you can't smile with that person? What you can't communicate with that person? You can't be cordial with that person? Why? Because God showed you they the devil. that's retarded of you. Right?
11:11.
So what you gonna do now? Confused and mad about saying, God showed me you the devil, I rebuke you, right? And then what happens when God tell you, I ain't tell you to rebuke them. I made them a devil. I need them to be the devil to balance out the scales. That's where we overstep our spiritual bound. We think the war's against, we war not against flesh and blood, y'all. So why is you warring with somebody? Because God told you they the devil. God just told you we don't war against flesh and blood. So if God told you they the devil, that means your spirit got it. So what you should do is treat them with kindness and be cordial on the earthly realm, right? Still cut the check if they work for you. If you work for them, still receive your check with grace, right? They might be a co-worker, might be a whole demon on them. Ain't gonna change, right? It ain't on you to change it. All it's on for you to do is obey spiritual law and don't do nothing unless something sent for you. That's it. See, people want to go at the people. Why is you going at somebody? God already told you that they ain't right. So if God already told you they ain't right, leave them alone. Let them don't be right.
First of all, you have to remember also too, a lot of the people that attack us are cowards. They sit at home in depression, in dark rooms, in dark places, with no one around. They have nothing else to do. And so what they do is they sit back to attack. They look for people with gifts. They look for people with strength. And they try to beat them down because they can never be half of what you are.
Right.
So they sit back in the dark and they do things in the spirit, thinking that they can't be seen, thinking that they can't be heard, thinking that they can't be felt. When God gave you discernment, you have your clairs, your clairvoyant, your clairsentient, you know what's going on. Right? So, just be careful.
Okay. Then we refute that. All right.
So, that was your message. We love you guys so much. We hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back probably in about 2 hours. God bless you, and we elemental beings.